What's good guys, welcome to another video, and as you can see from the title of this video, today we're going to talk about how semen retention will make you more magnetic. Before we're going to hop into this video, if you like this type of content, please subscribe, like the video, and feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's all in the description link down below. Let's hop into it. So before we're gonna talk about how semen retention will make you more magnetic, we first need to understand what magnetism is, because it can be framed in so many different ways. It's not some type of tactic, it's who you are, it's your own embodiment, it's the way you feel about yourself, and it's actually very effortless, right? You cannot force to be magnetic, it simply doesn't work like that. So a great way to explain this is to introduce you to the emotional skill of consciousness of David R. Hawkins. So as you can see from the scale, we have a lot of different emotions, right? All the way up in the scale, we see very positive and high vibrating emotions, and all the way at the bottom, we have low vibrational emotions. And guys, if the word vibration sounds a bit woo-woo to you, please understand that vibrations are real. We can actually measure with instruments how quickly something is vibrating. And science has also proven that everything is made out of energy, everything is made out of vibrations, and everything is vibrating at a different rate. And another way to understand vibrations is that we can feel it, right? We can literally feel when someone is in a bad emotion, even though we're not even speaking to this person or talking to this person. When someone is in a deep state of guilt or apathy, which is a very low vibrational emotion, we can feel it, and this person is going to be very draining to be around if we are naturally vibrating at a higher emotion. So when we come across someone that is in a deep state of guilt, you're going to naturally want to get away from this person because they drain you. It's like, man, his vibe is off, I don't want to be around this guy, he gives me bad vibes, right? So guys, when you hop on this journey of semen retention, you will naturally detach yourself from the emotions of guilt, shame and apathy, because obviously fapping and using your laptop and dirty website is associated with these emotions. So every time you open the laptop, you do the dirty deed, a lot of times you're gonna feel one of these emotions, and that's why you always feel so terrible afterwards, right? How many of us feel guilty after doing something like this? So obviously you're gonna vibrate very low at that point. So when you hop on this journey, you're literally going to forget what it feels like to feel guilty at some point, right? And next to that, because you are holding on to your essence, because you are holding on to the strongest energy within your body, you are naturally increasing your energy as well. So guys, the way you can see magnetism is the higher you are on this emotional scale, the more magnetic you become. It's literally that simple, because magnetism is not some type of tactic. It's not something you can do, and it's not even something you can force. It's something you embody. It's something that you are. So literally everyone can become magnetic as long as they work on themselves, and hopping on semen retention will just drive it all the way up, because you're going to get rid of all these low level emotions and you're naturally going to raise your emotional level, right? So if you really want to become magnetic, you need to hop on semen retention, because next to the fact that you're going to disassociate with the emotions of guilt, apathy and all those lower emotions that are associated with fapping, dirty websites, you're naturally going to raise your vibration. When you're magnetic, people want to be around you. You're a magnet, right? People want to be around you because you are giving off a lot of energy. You are giving a lot of energy outward to the world instead of inward. You're not taking from people, you're giving. And this is a natural byproduct, guys, from semen retention, because when you hop on semen retention, you feel more valuable inside of yourself, and you start to create more value within yourself. And it literally feels like this. The longer you hold on to your essence, the more valuable you're gonna feel within yourself, the more gifts you start to discover within yourself. So what happens is that naturally, because you feel so whole and so full within yourself, you don't need to take anything from anyone. You don't need validation at some point, and the higher you naturally aim on this emotional scale, the more draining it's going to become when you hang around people that are in these lower vibes. That's why you hear so many stories of people hopping on semen retention and eventually having to switch their whole life around because their whole freaking environment is not matching who they are anymore. This happened to me as well, guys. Many times again and again, I had to let go of certain people, even places I was living at. When I was 17 years old, I was fapping every freaking day, and my default setting of emotion was fear. We've all felt these emotions, of course, right? But when you're really that low, you don't have energy to do anything. You don't want to show yourself to the world. You want to crawl up in your bed and not do anything, right? Because you're so shameful and guilty. So the point when you start to become magnetic is when you start to hit the emotion of courage, right? As we let go of these lower emotions, which is naturally going to happen through semen retention and quitting the dirty websites, at a certain point you will permanently hit the emotion of courage, which simply means that you feel courageous in your day-to-day basis. At this emotion, you're finally able to tackle certain challenges. Now you finally have the courage to take action, to make changes in your life, to attack your fears. This is the tipping point, and naturally as well, you're going to become more magnetic, because whenever we reach this tipping point from negative to positive, our energy, our vibe is outpouring. lowering, right? This is why we become magnetic, and this is what it means to be magnetic. It's energizing to be around us. So if we look all the way up to the vibrations of joy and love, right? Very few people hit this as a permanent state. Look at certain old spiritual masters like Ramana Maharshi or even Eckhart Tolle. So think about the spiritual teachers. They've gone all the way up to peace and enlightenment, right? Very high vibrations, and that's why they are ridiculously magnetic, and all the people want to be around them because their energy is so amazing. They said that just being in the presence of a sage like Ramana Maharshi, all they felt was love and peace by just being in their presence, right? That's how powerful this can be. So here's a short summary of all the emotions and how you're gonna feel. So when you're in the lower emotions of guilt, apathy and shame, you don't want to be seen, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to show yourself to the world, you just want to hide yourself in your own room, and you don't have energy to improve. No, you are literally surviving, right? You are battling for survival. That's what it feels like on a day-to-day basis. So when we climb this ladder to the emotion of fear, anger and desire, we are constantly in a state of danger and wanting, right? We are looking around for dangers on a day-to-day basis, and we're constantly trying to get things from the outer world in order to fulfill ourselves. So as you can see, desire is even a lower state than anger, because we all know the feeling of desire, right? Let's talk about women for a second. When you see a very hot girl and you are in a deep state of desire, you're gonna feel very lustful, and it's a very negative feeling. It doesn't feel very nice to feel lustful. It's the feeling of, oh, I want that so bad, but I can't get it. I need it, I want it in order to feel good about myself, in order to feel whole. And a lot of hookup society and a lot of nightlife is simply based upon the emotion of desire. And as you can see, quite surprisingly, even the emotion of pride is a negative emotion. And the reason it's a negative emotion is that because when you are in pride, you are still seeking a lot of validation from the outer world. So as we move up, and this is the beautiful tipping point, right? This is where we go from the negative to the positive emotions. When we start to hit the emotion of courage, this is where we start to become magnetic, which simply means that our energy is very energizing, right? We start to give to the world. We have things to give to the world. So when we hit the emotion of courage, we are finally able to tackle our, let's say, anxiety or certain problems in our life, right? We start to feel a lot more energized within ourselves to change our life. We start to see a life full of opportunities because now we have the energy and the courage to go after the things that we want, right? And as you can see, someone in courage, it's very energizing. It's very positive. If you see a courageous person, people are like, yeah, let's go, brother. It kind of feels good. We want to be around courageous people, don't you? I want to be around courageous people because they feel very energizing to me. And if we even move up higher to the emotions of willingness, acceptance and love, this is when life starts to feel effortless, right? And the way we see the world is that, wow, there's more than enough in the world and I'm always being provided for. And paradoxically, that will result in you gaining a lot of things. So when you hear people talking about manifesting and letting go of your desire in order to get it, well, actually it's true. And the paradox, and I've realized this myself as well, when I hit these higher emotions, I no longer care about all the things I wanted in my life. I'm like, well, I'm still gonna pursue them, but I don't really care about the outcome anymore because I feel so whole and full within myself. And paradoxically, now all these things are coming to me. It's quite amazing to see those differences, guys. So as you can see, at this state, we are very magnetic. People want to be around us. You want to be around those types of people because guess what? They are constantly giving value. They are constantly giving a lot of things because they feel so whole and full within themselves. So guys, when you hop on semen retention, you will naturally raise your emotional state like this. It's a slow process, and please understand that when you slowly start to raise the bar of your magnetism or your emotions, you're still gonna have feelings and guilt and pride and all those things. They are still gonna come up. But when they come up, be aware of these types of emotions and let go of them, because that's the only way to continue to move up. So what can happen is that you are, as a default setting, in a state of courage, but now something like grief or something like pride is popping up in your awareness. It becomes a lot easier to just look at that emotion and say, huh, that's not for me. And it will go again. And that's the beauty, guys. And that's why semen retention will make you more magnetic. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, I truly appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.